So today, my video is on an adventure we did yesterday. We took the boat to 20 Mile River. 20 Mile River is at the very end of Turnagain Arm. And here in a minute, you'll see a picture of where Turnagain Arm is if you're not familiar with it. It's about an hour outside of Anchorage. We took the boat all the way up to Carmen Lake and even past Carmen Lake. We took it as far as we could physically take it till trees were blocking the river. You couldn't go any further. Super shallow water. We got into rapids. Didn't see any wildlife. The only wildlife I think I saw was one bald eagle, and it was young. But this is where we were at, in the Chugiak State Park and at the very end of Turnagain Arm. Matter of fact, driving down Turnagain Arm, we saw the beluga whales, which was kind of a treat because I've never seen them out there before. So we had just put the boat in the water. I'm waiting on Jamie to go park the truck. He drove his truck today, and we take off. This bridge is where the Alaska Railroad drives over 20 Mile. And this was a very, very beautiful trip. The video doesn't do it justice for exactly how beautiful this is. So we take off, and we got to stop and make sure the pressure in the boat's correct. It's got to be 3.5, 3.6 pounds PSI. And then once we get everything straightened out, we are on our way. Now, I've got a 9-gallon gas tank and two 5-gallon gas tanks to make sure we make it there and back. We made it there and back, so we probably did a total of 50 miles completely round trip on that 9-gallon tank. When you first took off, we were joking and laughing, saying, man, this is easy compared to what we just did on the Little Nachina. This is easy. It didn't turn out that way. It got sketchy, and we were, like I said, we were hitting some white water. I cut the volume down because this motor's so loud. We're developing and getting better at this. We're wearing headphones now when we're ear protection when we're in the boat because the motor's so stinking loud. I guess it's a jet. Every one I've heard is pretty loud. And there's your bald eagle. That's the only wildlife we saw all day long, so I hope you enjoyed that little video. And as we're going up, Jamie drove all day today. He went all the way up and all the way back, and it's very proficient with this boat. Next year, I've got Jeff Hassel, Wayne Barlow coming up. I've got Daniel Gadsden supposed to be coming, and we're going to be taking this boat up to the Arctic. I got a friend of mine, Justina, that her and her boyfriend want to come up and go hunting. So the trick is, if you want to go hunting with me, you've got to learn how to drive the boat. If you're going to be out here, you got to be able to operate it. So when they get here, we'll give them a crash course and get them to learn how to drive the boat. Now, we are just now getting on Carmen Lake, and it is a beautiful lake. You can see we were excited because that was a rough ride coming up. And it's this, I don't know, like greenish looking color. It's just an alpine lake. And you can see it's like a mirror. No wind. It was a perfect day.
Something super sketchy. There's a creek right here that can't be more than, what, 4 or 5 feet across? About a little bit wider than this boat. There's only one way to shoot it. There's like a little channel we can try to get up, and we're about to go for it. If we get stuck, we have to drag it back out. Let's do it. No.
Now we get to the end of the lake, and we beached the boat, got out, walked around, found that little creek, and we were like, let's go up this creek. Let's just see how far we can take this thing. And let me tell you, we took it. The scenery up here, unbelievable. What we were doing was scouting out. See, a friend of mine told me there were mountain goats up here you can hunt, and when we got to here we are. We're going on to this creek right now, and it is super, super shallow. And this is where we were told to go look for mountain goats. So we run all the way to the head of this thing till we can't go any further, and you're going to see in just a second we're going to hit some trees. We stopped and had a picnic lunch, got our chairs out, glassed for probably 45 minutes to an hour. Never saw one single mountain goat. Didn't see any bears, didn't see anything. but it was still a perfect day. Look how shallow that is. I can't describe how shallow this boat will run. At one point, Jamie was going back down the river, runs it up on the bank, and the thing and the motor was still in the water, and it pushed right through it, and kept on going. I wish I'd have got that on video.
Stop. As far as we can go.
But that's as far as we made it on Carmen Lake. And this is where, like I said, we got out. We had a picnic lunch and ended up just glassing for a long time. Now, this video, I took my Action Pro, DJI Action Pro camera and set it beside the boat and set it out in the front. And we're not going that fast. This was just a long video, and I wanted to speed it up because I didn't want to have it that long. I'm trying to make these videos kind of short, and this one's, I think, about 10 minutes, 10 or 11 minutes. But as we come off of this creek, you're going to see where the water turns brown. That is super, super shallow, not even ankle deep. And then it goes from brown to back to that turquoise color. Absolutely amazing. So here we go. You see the brown. That's ankle deep water we're in right now. And here comes the turquoise. So once we got done with this lake, we started heading back down, and there's a turn off where you can turn right and head up towards Glacier Lake. And that's what we did. Now we're heading towards Glacier Lake, and we're going to go explore that. And it was probably a little rougher going up towards Carmen Lake than it was Glacier Lake. We're making our way. I just put a few little clips so you could kind of understand exactly how hard this water is, and the boat just rips right through it like it's nothing. Going down is a little more difficult because, especially yesterday, the sun was out and it was bright. You couldn't see the rocks. I think Jamie hit 2 boulders. We never got stuck though. And we're coming on to Glacier Lake here in just a second. I say we're coming on Glacier Lake in just a second. There we are. We're on Glacier Lake. Now what you're seeing, those white dots, that's icebergs floating. That's stuff that has fallen off of the glacier that's out floating in the middle of the lake. And that water is cold. So we drove the boat straight up to the glacier. And then
right at the base of a glacier.
Jamie was getting close enough so we could touch it.
That literally just fell in the water when we drove right by it. Jamie, you may have had us a little too close. That was neat.
That would have been bad.
That would have been bad. I don't think my boat would have held that up.
Damn. Hey, you want to go sit on that?
No, I don't want to sit on that. So that whole thing is flipped off and pushing out into the lake.
Oh, he's got one.
Oh no! Come here.
What a man won't do to have fancy ice.
So after almost dying like a dang tourist, so I will tell y'all, never, ever, ever get that close to a glacier. Don't do that. That was not the smartest thing I've ever done. We got out of the boat and we went for a walk. This water was coming off of the glacier and it had formed a bridge that you probably walk across. However, I did not walk across that. And the water just rushing out into Glacier Lake. So after our near-death experience, we decided let's get on home. It's been one heck of a day. So this is us turning around, heading back down the river, heading out to Turnagain Arm. So after this trip, I've got to take the boat today up to Palmer and put it in fresh water and run that engine for a little bit to get the salt water out. The problem with this is when you're putting it in and taking it out, you're in salt water because we're at the head of Turnagain Arm. And this is probably may be the last time I take this boat out. I might take it out in September. I don't know, because we're doing the trip. I'm leaving Saturday to head down to Wrangell. And then when I come back the following Saturday, Monday, I'm going up to work for 2 weeks. So we'll see. But if not, I'm going to have to we'll take the motor off, deflate the boat, put everything up for the winter time. Anyway, if y'all come up here to visit, this is where I'm taking you. Everybody that comes to visit me, you're going to go on this river. It was spectacular.